All right, I'm going to show you how to use layers and selection tools to create another practice piece. So let's go up to Layer, Add Images Layer, and I'm going to pick, I have a river for my background. I'll pop that in there. I'm going to close some of these windows because maybe that's why we're going a little slow. Okay, so I've got this beautiful river. Now I'm going to add my frog. Add images layer. I'm going to use the same frog that I used in the first one. If you are looking through the internet for images to use, the things that you know you want to just stand alone, like this little frog, if you search images and you select ones that just have a white background, that's going to be a lot easier for you to use. So I'm going to grab my wand select. I'm going to click on the white, and you notice that it selected all the white stuff, right? And then I can go up to edit and I can cut that, or I can control X, or I can just delete too. I can use the delete button on my keyboard. You have lots of choices. Okay, so I've got frog in there. I want the frog to look like it's jumping through a chair, as I like kind of ridiculous, silly things in my collages. So I found a chair that I liked, and I'm going to open that. And remember, we're making more layers over here, and that's great. Notice the chair is really big. You can see this red box up here. This is called your navigator. Chair is really big. Like if I pull that down, it makes the whole picture smaller. If I pull it up, I can zoom in really close and see all those little pixels, right? Let's pull it down a little bit. So my chair is really big. Let's hit that arrow tool and let's grab the little anchors on my bounding box and pull that up. I think that looks like a pretty good size now. Okay, so I'm on the chair layer. My chair is selected. I don't really need it to be selected, but now I'm going to go back to this wand, right? We like this one, especially when we have like a white background. So I'm going to click on the white background, and I just told Pixlr to select all the white pixels that are on the outside of this chair. And then remember, I can control X, or I can hit my delete button. Okay, so I just cut those out. So now I have frog, chair, and river. Oops, didn't want to do that. Control D. Always go back to there. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do next. I am going to turn off or hide this layer so it doesn't bother me while I'm working. Notice how it just disappeared. It's not gone forever. It's just hiding. And I'm also going to hide my chair layer because that's irritating me too right now. I just want to focus on the frog, right? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I want to cut my frog in half. And you'll see why here in a second. I'm going to pick this lasso select. It's where you can draw around stuff and select it. And I'm going to choose the polygon. You'll see why that works best. You have more control with the polygon. So I'm going to click on the outside. I'm going to cut through the middle of my frog, click out here. And I don't want to get too close to my frog because I don't want to accidentally deselect my frog. And since I have a transparent background, I don't have any background, it's okay. It's only going to look at the frog. Okay, so now that I have that selected, right, what I want to do is come up here to edit, and I'm going to copy. So, oh, why does it say nothing? Oh, I'm not on my frog. Okay, now let's try it. I wasn't on my frog layer. Oh boy. All right, let's go back up here to copy. And I just made a copy of the bottom half of my frog, right? And so what I want to do is I'm going to go here. I want to make an empty layer, and I'm going to paste, Control V. All right, so look what happened. I have this little guy right here. Right, well, let's go up here. I have this little guy, and I can move him around. And I guess the thing that I forgot to do was get rid of the bottom half of my frog. So now I have to go back down here and cut him off again because I forgot to get rid of him. This time I'm going to delete or X out that little portion because I don't need that part of the frog. So I'm going to delete it. There we go. Okay, now I'm also going to do a Control D to deselect. Okay, so I have the top part of my frog and I have the bottom part of my frog. And here's where you start playing with layers. So I'm going to go up to the chair layer. Let's turn that back on. I'm going to go to my river layer. Let's turn that back on. Layer 16 I don't need. I'm going to delete that one because it's empty. Oops. I accidentally deleted my river layer. So I'm going to go here to undo. Oof, there we go. This is the layer I don't want, 16. Delete that layer. Okay. So now I have to arrange all of these. And the way that I arrange them is I know that I need the top part of my frog to be in front of the chair. So I moved that up and I want to make sure I'm using my arrange arrow, right? And so now I'm going to move him here. I'm going to kind of turn him. Oh, I guess I like him kind of right there. And then I have to go down here to my bottom part of my frog. And notice since this layer is under the chair, when I move this over, do you see how it looks like it's behind the chair? I think we'll maybe go like this. And I'll put him right there. Okay, so that doesn't look too bad. It looks like he's going through the chair, but I think it's a little unnatural having this as a straight edge, right? So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to use my navigator, okay, and I'm going to go up. I'm going to zoom in, see with the navigator I can get really, really big. Maybe not that big. Okay, and I'm going to use the eraser tool. This is the eraser. It looks like, a red rubber eraser that's moving around on a piece of paper. So when I click on that, I get a brush, okay, and a big brush. So let's see how big that is. Oh, that's not too bad. Yeah. Now, opacity means how much do you want to erase? Look what happens when I change opacity. If I make it 49%, right, and I come over here to my frog, if I start to erase, do you see it only takes away half of it? Okay, so that's helpful sometimes. If you don't want if you don't want it to look too strong and you want some transparency, but I really need part of this frog to go away. So do you see how doesn't that look a little more natural? And I think maybe we'll get rid of a little bit here. I think I got rid of too much. So I can Control Z and it'll put that back. I got rid of too much. So in order to get a better view, I'm going to go in even closer. Okay, and one thing I can do is if I click on this part of my brush, do you see how there's this thing called softness? Or you can pick, so if it's fuzzy like this, it won't make a clean erase. If it's hard, it'll make a clean erase. I like using a round one more than a square one, to tell you the truth, unless you were going to make a straight line. But we don't really want a straight line. So I chose 20 means it's going to take 20 pixels at a time. And see now, Oh, I erased too much again. I just undo, and I'm going to Control Z again. So you can do what we call Z back as much as you want. I'm just going to grab a little bit of it. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. And maybe what I'll do, yeah, I think maybe what I'll do is I'll turn him again a little bit. So let's scroll down, and that doesn't look too bad. But I'm going to go to my select. I'm going to turn him. That probably looks better, right? Now if I click on the bottom image and I turn him, I think, we want to, oops, I'm on the chair all of a sudden. Nope, we want the bottom frog. Oh, I see what's happening. I gotta lock my chair. This is why you want to lock them up so you don't accidentally, come on. There we go. Okay, so we're not moving the chair anymore. We'll go over here to the frog. I just want to tilt him a little bit and look at how the back toes of the frog are behind the chair leg. I don't want that to happen. So I might need to move him up and turn him a little more. Move him over. So now it's about arranging things so that they look, yeah. And now with this one, I think what I have to do is erase, because you see how it's overlapping here, and that doesn't look right. So now I'm going to have to erase part of this frog. So remember, I'm going to go back to my eraser. I'm on the right layer, and now what I'm going to do is just try to get rid of that. And because I want a straight line, maybe I should go up here and grab this square brush, right? Come down here. Now I have a square brush. Now I can erase that maybe with a sharper edge. And sometimes you really got to zoom in so you can see what's going on. So getting rid of that. Oh, that's looking better. Maybe just a little more. And then I want to get that guy. And that guy. And this guy. That looks pretty good. So if I zoom out, oh yeah, looks like I have a frog intersecting a chair, right? All right, so the next thing I need to do is I need to get all these layers to come down into one image. So I click on the top one, and I'm gonna go here to merge down. And so what that did is that took my frog and merged it with the other frog, but now I'm going to click on this again. We're going to flatten. So flatten means we've turned it all into one image. I can't change anything anymore. Right? This is done. So that's great. Look, it's done. Can't do anything to it. I'm going to save it as a JPEG. It's my intersection. Download it. And this is what I can turn into Google Classroom. All right. So it's been downloaded. Looks good. I can close that. Have fun, guys.